What's up guys, Dr. Webb here. Welcome back to the channel. I am here in Florence, South Carolina, here to check out some of the innovative things that Dginn Medical has with spinal 3D printing. You guys are about to come in with me to check that out. Chris, how you doing, man?
Dr. Webb, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me, to the viewers out there, who you are and kind of what Dginn Medical is and what we're going to be doing today.
Absolutely. My name is Chris Daneski, and I'm the Vice President of Sales for Dginn Medical. We are a medical device company that's located in South Carolina. And specifically, we specialize in the design and manufacture of spinal implants. And these are used by orthopedic surgeons such as yourself and neurosurgeons all around the country to treat a variety of spinal pathologies.
Awesome. So you're going to show us around to your lab back here and 3D printer. I'm really looking forward to checking that out.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to come over here, we've got a build plate up here and just kind of showing some of the implants that we're working on that we'll be looking at here in a little bit.
Okay, so this is kind of the before the 3D printed objects are printed out. This is how they're designed here?
Exactly. So they're designed by our engineers, and then they're loaded into this this CAD system here, and they're basically sitting on top of what is called a build plate.
Yeah.
And essentially, they're all lined up on there, and that's a little square grid that's about 10 inches by 10 inches. And so we align everything on there, and then you'll see here in a little bit with the laser and the powder exactly how these implants are kind of built from the ground up.
Wow. So in surgery, you know, I use certain implants in surgery, the pit between the bones to help fuse the spine, but most of those implants are off the shelf. You're printing these off of a printer here, these implants?
Absolutely. So we can do this in real time where we can literally print these implants in about 24 hours. And as we learn a little bit more about this process today, you'll see that the intricacies of these designs and what we're able to do, we can basically down the road, we'll be able to create completely customized implants that will be for every single type of anatomy out there, and because every single patient's different.
Okay, and then this is the system that is used to design the implants, and this is your engineer here?
Yeah, that's correct.
Show me a little bit of kind of the design process, like the implants. Like if I wanted a certain implant for a patient, what's the design process look like?
Sure, so essentially what we do is we start in like a CAD drawing system, and we'll go and we'll create exactly, you know, all the different parameters of the implants, and these are done in millimeters. So, you know, some of these, it looks like they're maybe about, you know, 24 by 30 millimeters. And so we go in and we put in all the different parameters, and then they're transferred into this system. And this is for our 3D printer, that this is the different technology that we use to, we transfer everything over here. And so then we put it onto the plate, and then we go and we design exactly and kind of organize it on there so that we can build it.
So with this 3D printer, I know you can print spine implants, you know, eventually screws, rods, and things like that I use in surgery. What about things like outside of surgery? I'm from Texas, or live in Texas, and a lot of people hunt in Texas. If I wanted a, let's say, implant, like a veterinarian for a spinal fusion of a deer, are you able to make that?
Sure, absolutely. So, I mean, deer, they can suffer from the same kind of spinal disease conditions that that humans can. And actually, we can show you over here. Basically, this is looking at the build plate, and essentially right there, we're just kind of showing each individual layer, how this is going to be built on the 3D printer. And we're kind of starting from the base and we're going up, and this shows exactly what it's going to look like when it's finished.
And then you can get the exact dimensions of a deer or a giraffe and then print an implant that fits their anatomy.
Yeah, absolutely. We just need to get all the measurements, and as you can see, we basically showed you the different layers and exactly how this looks as it gets built up. And if you want, we can head back to the 3D printer and we can show you a little bit more about this and have a finished product to look at here in a little bit.
Awesome. I'm excited to check it out.
Absolutely. Follow me, guys. All right, so where we're at now, we're in the processing lab, and right inside of here, this is the 3D printing area.
So for the people out there that may not know what 3D printing is, what is it? Like kind of in layman's terms, what is spinal 3D printing?
So what it basically is, it just refers to an additive manufacturing process where it's kind of like building a house and you start from the base and you go up versus what traditional manufacturing method is of subtractive, and that's basically if you have like a cube or a block and then you go and you take pieces away. So essentially this is kind of like building a house and we're just doing it layer by layer like we looked at on the video over there.
But off of a printer.
Correct, yeah.
And then the implants that I use in surgery are usually off the shelf. So these are either plastic or titanium, but these are from a printer. Like, when would a patient or a surgeon like myself need a implant that is printed off of a printer?
Sure, absolutely. So that's a decision basically that a patient will talk with their physician and they'll figure out exactly what they need. And so with a 3D printer, you can create very customized and very intricate designs that help aid in the fusion process. So like with these are the majority of these things that we're making are spinal implant interbodies. And so essentially, a surgeon is removing the disc and we're replacing that with a kind of a fake disc, if you will. And basically we're just trying to get those two bones to fuse together.
Got you. What's the craziest thing that you guys printed off a printer here?
I would probably say the two craziest things, probably a deer implant and a giraffe implant.
Wow, for actual deer or giraffe?
Absolutely, yeah. It's the exact size, and if we had a deer that had a degenerative back issue, we could help treat them.
All right, cool.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to checking out that printer.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go in and have a look. All right, so we are now actually inside the 3D printing lab, and we'll come over here and I'll show you kind of what this looks like.
Wow, yeah, nice.
So this is the printer right here, and typically if this was on and we were actually producing parts, we would be wearing full hazmat suits. And I cannot open this door for you because there's the building materials that are inside, and again, you have to be wearing full a respirator and a full gown and suit and everything if the printer was running.
Awesome. This is like a gas mask that we use in the military.
Yeah, absolutely.
Similar to that.
Yep. We don't want to inhale anything that's inside of the printer.
Yeah. So how much do one of these things cost?
Well, I can give you a roundabout figure that one of these is about the same as a Bugatti Veyron.
Holy crap! That's a lot of money.
It is. Yeah. No. It's a very high-tech and expensive machine.
Yeah. And then so the implants we made them on the computer over there with the engineer, and then the information is sent to this printer here, and then the printer makes the implants like right here?
Yeah, correct. So what actually happens is the building materials, the powder's over here, and that plate that I was showing you, basically the plate goes in there, and we'll show you here in a little bit in a video exactly what that looks like, but the powder then is on the plate, and then there's a laser that you can't see above here that goes and it traces the pattern. And it goes and it traces however many implants you have on there. It traces all of them, and then the layers kind of move within there, and more powder is then spread over with the blade, and then the process repeats. And again, it's kind of just like building a house.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and just follow me over here to the staging area. All right here, this is the build plate that I was talking to you about. So essentially what we do is after we have the designs on the printer, we take this build plate and we slide it into the printer when the implants are actually made.
This is actually really heavy. How much does this thing weigh?
So that's 10 pounds. That's made out of titanium.
Oh, that's awesome. So the implants are, design is actually on this little plate here. This goes into the printer?
Correct, yeah. So what happens is that slides into the printer, and like we kind of show here, the way that we laid out all the different implants on there, so you can see as the reference is all of the powder, again, it goes on there, and then the laser comes overhead, and it traces all of these patterns, and then essentially a blade comes across, and more of the powder material comes, and then the process repeats, and it just repeats over and over, and it kind of builds the implant up.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if we go over to another area of our staging, we can actually see what some of the finished products look like. Oh wow, look at this. Here's your deer use implant.
Wow, so this is an actual implant that can go inside of a deer?
Absolutely, yeah. So that is what the finished product looks like when it comes off the plate.
What are these people that, I know what they are because I'm a surgeon and I use these all the time, or certain implants all the time that resemble this, but what are these little spikes in there?
So what those spikes are used for is as when you put this inner body spacer in between the two vertebral bodies, basically you're wanting these two bodies to fuse together, and so those little spikes or shims, they basically hold that device in place while that fusion process is taking place.
So this is a implant that is printed off of a printer, spinal implant.
Absolutely.
That's incredible.
Isn't it?
And then what else do you have here?
We just have just a couple other things. We have some screws and we have some cages, and this is another project we did. This one is for giraffe use only.
Huh.
Yeah, a interesting fact about giraffes that people may or may not know is they have 7 cervical vertebral bodies, just like humans do.
Wow. So giraffes and deers, they can undergo spine surgery?
Absolutely. If they have issues, degenerative issues where the bodies kind of sink down and some of their nerve roots get impinged, absolutely, they can suffer from the exact kind of issues that humans can.
That's pretty cool. All right, so after these implants, they come off the printer, what is the process of getting kind of from this area to the operating room or into a patient's body? Like, how can I use this implant after they're made off the printer?
Sure, so once it comes off the printer, we have to do a quality inspection to make sure that all of the sizing and everything is exactly like the way that we envisioned when we put it on the printer. As well, we have to do mechanical testing to make sure that the implant is going to hold up over time because it's going to be in the body for a very long time. And then as well, for any of these implants, they have to be cleared with the FDA so that they can be implanted.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
And then how does the biomechanical testing, what does that process look like?
Sure, so again, the FDA, they require certain biomechanical tests for for any of these implants that we use. And so we show over here, this is a bench testing machine, and this is a new project that we're actually working on here. And this just basically tests to make sure that these implants, that they can hold up and that they're not going to break.
Yeah, so these implants, they have to be tested before they're put into a patient's body, and basically this machine here is kind of breaking it down. We'll test it, like the strength of it, and make sure there's no failure before they're cleared by the FDA to be used.
Exactly. So this machine here, and just with any of these mechanical testings that we're running, they have to go over millions of cycles that basically mimics, once this is implanted in a human or a deer or a giraffe, these kind of micro motions that the spine can undergo to make sure that it's going to hold up over time.
Sweet. Can we check this thing out?
Yeah, sure. And so what we're showing here is these are just some of the preliminary tests that we're running, and just to make sure that these implants that we're designing, that they're going to hold up, and then we'll send this off to an official testing facility. Well, they'll actually do the official tests that will, that'll be recorded to make sure that these implants can do and say what they're going to do.
Yeah, so there's actually a lot of steps that go into this process before coming off a printer or before an implant is actually used in surgery by myself or other surgeons. There's a lot of testing that goes on with it, and there's a lot of clearances by the FDA and So
Yeah,
there's a lot that goes
absolutely.
into it. I didn't realize how much goes into it.
Yeah, I mean, just for example, that test right there, you would have to run 5 million cycles.
Wow.
Yeah, to make sure that it's not going to break.
And what happens if you're going through this testing and then one of these break, let's say at 1 million cycles?
Sure. So what you have to do is you have to go back and you have to look at your process and figure out what the mode of failure was and exactly why the implant broke. And you have to go back and you have to examine your internal processes, and you got to kind of troubleshoot it and fix it so that you can get to the 5 million cycles.
Okay. And then most of the implants that I use in surgery are just off the shelf. There are some patients who have really aberrant anatomy. Maybe their vertebral bodies or their spine is actually too large, and then the implant just doesn't fit right, or it's too small or too big. So I can get a custom patient-specific implant kind of off the printer for that particular patient. Is that true?
So what we're working on now is, and as we move forward in the future, we're going to be looking at manufacturing patient-specific implants. But again, this is going to be subject to a lot of mechanical testing and a final FDA clearance before we can get to that stage. But the ultimate goal, yes, and that's one of the many great advantages of having a 3D printer, is having that end goal of being able to make a completely customized spinal implant that is, truly kind of one of a kind to exactly fit a patient's anatomy. All right, now that we've finished up here in the mechanical testing area, follow me this way and we're going to go over to the inspection station.
Sweet.
All right, now we're in the inspection station here, and we're just verifying all of the dimensions from an implant that we built, just to make sure that all the dimensions are exactly the way that they're supposed to be. And this is just part of the quality inspection process.
Okay, so once it comes off the printer, it's actually inspected kind of in this area, and then it's sent off for kind of further biomechanical testing.
Yeah, absolutely. We, and again, just part of the mechanical and the internal quality process, we come and, again, here we're just kind of looking around and we're checking all the different dimensions. And, once everything here and it passes, all the dimensional tests, then we'll, send it off for the final mechanical testing and quality.
Awesome.
All right, well, that finishes up here in this area.
All right, Chris, thank you so much for having us today and showing us around your office and teaching us about spinal 3D printing. It's something that, as a surgeon, I'm always looking for the newest and greatest in innovation and technology, and it's certainly something that you guys have here that can benefit a lot of patients. How can people get a hold of you if they wanted to get in contact with you?
Yeah, so the best way to get a hold of us is to go to our website, dginnmedical.com, and you can learn more about our products and how to get a hold of us. And we are a technology company that happens to make spinal implants.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time.
Absolutely.